Hello guys, welcome to another lead code problem, and in this video we'll be looking at the lead code problem 2727, which is object empty. So like I always do, the first thing we need to do is to read the requirement of the problem. So it says, given an object or an array, return if it is empty. An empty object contains no key value pair. An empty array contains no element. You may assume the object or the array is the output of JSON parse. All right, so they're giving us some example here. So let us look at this critically. So you can see this is the input here, right? So this is an object. And what they're telling you here that the input can be an array or an object. So in the example one, this is what an object. And what they want us to return is either true or false. So for this, the correct answer is what? False. So because it is not empty. You can see the explanation. It says the object has two key values pairs. So it is not empty. All right. So let us see the next example. For example 2, they gave us an empty object and the correct answer is true. The reason because it is empty. You can see the explanation. It says the object doesn't have any key value pair, so it is empty. For example 3, right, they gave us an input and this input this time is an array. So, and it is not empty, so meaning it is false because the array has 3 elements, so it is not empty. So we should return what? False. Okay, so now if you look at the bottom here, they ask us to solve this algorithm using the big O of 1, the constant time. So meaning we should not have a loop in our solution. So if you look at the code section here, you can see we have the params, and a param, they say it can be two types. It can be an object or an array, and the return type should be a boolean. So if you look at this, right, so we're having a two type, but how do we know if what is coming is an object or an array? That is where we need to dive into the solution and use if statement to check if the incoming param is an object or an array. Then we have to return true or false if it is empty. So remember, we should write our solution in big O of 1, which is a constant time, meaning there shouldn't be a loop. All right, so let us go to the solution quickly. So the first thing I want to do is to check if the incoming param is an object. So I'm going to do type of the object, right? So the type of the object, I want to check if it is an object. So I'm going to check, is it an object? So if it's an object, right? If it's an object, then I want to also check if it is empty. If it is empty, I want to return false. Okay, so we can check that by using object keys. So we can do object.keys, then we'll pass in the object. Okay, we'll pass in the obj, which is the incoming object. Okay, and we're going to check the length of this. So if the length is equal to 0, we want to return true. So let me pull this in block. So we want to return what? True. Okay, however, if it is not, we want to return false. Okay, but instead of this long line of code, right, we can just return the dot length and that will automatically return true or false. So I can cut out this part. I can cut out this part, remove this. So I will just return this. So this will automatically return true or false. So the next thing we want to do is, since it is not an object, then it should be an array. So what we'll do here is an else statement, and we want to do the same thing. Instead of checking if the array is empty, we'll just return the length of the array. So obj dot length equal to 0. All right, so with this I believe it should work. So let us run this code and let's see what we'll get. So I'm going to click on the run button. Okay, we can see this is the first case. The first case, right? This is the input they give us, and the expected value is false, and what we return is what? False, because it is not empty. For the second case, they give us an empty object, and you can see we should return true. So this is the expected value, and what we return is true. Then for the case 3, they give us an array, and you can see the output is false. We return false, and the expected value is false, so meaning it is correct. So let us submit for final evaluation. All right, we can see the code is accepted, and the algorithm for this solution is O of 1. You can see there is no loop. There's no loop. All we're doing is to return the length of the object and the length of the array. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in another video.